Hello everybody. Guess what? It's time for the NEWTs! And this is a partial TBR. I'm going for Alchemist because I'm insane. Ultimately, I want to do all 36 prompts. I can do it. I know I can, because back in April with the Owls, I ended up with over 50 books read. So, I can do it. Good thing we had Reading Rush that got me motivated again, because I was in such a slump for May and June and most of July. But anyway, for Alchemist, I need an outstanding in herbology, an outstanding in potions, an outstanding in transfiguration, outstanding in ancient runes, outstanding in arithmancy, and exceeded expectations for astronomy. There you go. This is only a partial TBR because I'm only going to try to cover these in this section. I do have books chosen for most, not quite all, but most of the prompts. So we're going to start with ancient runes. For acceptable, read a book recommended by a friend, and I have Song of Achilles, which I actually listened to yesterday on the 1st and finished, so I have checked that one off. For exceeds expectations, I need a book written in past tense. I haven't chosen one yet, but I have one I hope will work. I'm going to have to take a look and see how it's written. Possibly The Lost World by Arthur Conan Doyle. I've had the audiobook for a while, and I just picked up a copy from the library today, so I'm fingers crossed that it works. And of course, it's all the way over on the other side of the couch, and yeah, I'm too lazy to reach over to get it because I'm dying of heat stroke. It's over 90 degrees again today. Not supposed to be like this in Ohio. Okay, anyway, back to what we're doing. Still on ancient runes. For outstanding, I need a book that has been on my TBR for ages, and I have the audiobook of A Mercy by Toni Morrison. I'm going to read for that. That's been on my TBR since like 2011, so it's time. And for arithmancy, for acceptable, I need a book that ends on an even page number, and I have a book called Wild Bird. I don't remember how many pages it has, but it was an even page number. Read a standalone novel. I have Heretics Anonymous. Again, it's an audiobook. A book that's longer than 350 pages. I have one called The Name of the Star. I think it's by Maureen Johnson, who did Truly Devious. I think, maybe. Again, there's an audiobook. Most of these are going to be audiobooks. Astronomy, Moon on the cover or anywhere in the title for acceptable. In that, I have Mr. Peabody's House. I want to say it's by Evelyn Leigh. I read the first one in the series. This is the second in the series, and there's a picture of a moon. Audiobook. And that's on the Audible. It used to be Audible Romance. That's what Audible Escape. It's in that romance package. For exceeds expectations, the word night in book title or series name, I have one called A Night Divided. Guess what? It's an audiobook. Yeah. This isn't the most exciting video, is it? Astronomy for outstanding, which I don't actually have to have, but I'm going to go for it anyway, just because I can. Read a sci-fi book or a book with stars on the cover. I have a sci-fi book, An Absolutely Remarkable Thing by Hank Green. Herbology for acceptable. Mandrake, quick, put your headphones on, listen to an audiobook. If not, something with a green cover. Guess what? I have an audiobook. It's called The First Time She Drowned. For exceeds expectations, a book between 350 and 390 pages. An audiobook, again, A Girl Like That. Read a book with a flower on the cover for outstanding, and that one is an audiobook called The Golden Day. For potions, Polyjuice Potion, read your friend's favorite book. I have one called Closer Than You Think. It's an audiobook. Exceeds Expectations Potions, a book with cover in your Hogwarts house color. I choose to be a Ravenclaw. I know, I've taken the test about a bazillion times and it keeps putting me in Gryffindor. I did a challenge last year and I was put in Hufflepuff, but in my heart I'm a Ravenclaw. So I chose a book that has a blue cover and it's called Yaki Delgado Wants to Kick Your Ass. Guess what? You're right, it's an audiobook. Potions, outstanding. Read a book that starts with a prologue. A Miracle of Miracles? I have an actual book! This one is Sorcery for Beginners. Euphemia Whitmore with Matt Harry. I think Euphemia Whitmore is kind of the Dumbledore of this. It's book 1 of the Codex Arcanum. I don't know, it came in Owl Crate? Unicorn Crate. One of those. One of the 2 crates that I get. Okay, so Transfiguration. Acceptable. A book with LGBTQA plus representation. I have a graphic novel, Bloom, by Kevin Panetta and Savannah Gunacho. I hope I didn't butcher her name too terribly. For Exceeds Expectations, read a book that's not first in a series. I'm going to listen to the audiobook of Always and Forever, Lara Jean. Finally kill off that series. I hope I like the 3rd book. By the 2nd book, I was getting really irritated with Lara Jean. And for outstanding, McGonagall Does Not Mess Around, read a book over 500 pages. I will be reading the 2nd book in the Assassin's Hockey series by Tony Aleo called Trying to Score. And her books are like 500 plus pages. I was pleasantly surprised, because I really loved the 1st book. So I'm hoping that the series continues on to be something that I really enjoy. I'm dying of heat stroke. Okay, so that takes care of all of the things that are required. I think perhaps I should do a second video for all the non-required stuff. And if you have any suggestions for a book written in past tense, please feel free to drop a comment, because that one, I'm struggling a little bit trying to decide what to use. I have still a small stack of actual books to go through, and those will be in the 2nd part of my TBR. So yeah, I'm insane. I have a lot to read. But luckily, most of it's on audio and won't take very long. One of them, I kind of feel like it was cheating, and I will probably look for another book, because even though the rules say we can read anything as long as it's on Goodreads, the one I didn't realize, I thought it was a different series than it was when I chose it. It ended up being a 32-page children's picture book. I was thinking it was the little bit older chapter book, which is what we read when I was in like 2nd grade. So yeah, I think I may replace that, but that's not even one that's required. So at this point, I'm looking at 17 required, 18 because I'm going to outstanding it. That's on this TBR. 2nd half will have the other 18, the other half of the subjects, and a few more actual books. So yeah, I will see you in the next video. See you in part 2. Good luck with the newts. Newts.